Thunderstorm Artis may have been ousted from American Idol Season 23 before the final, but he left an indelible mark not only on the judges, but also on the audience and the very essence of the competition. His run on the show was both tremendously artistic and incredibly heartfelt. Artis, who is well known for his easy fusion of soul, folk, and spiritual conviction, brought a feeling of serene brilliance to the stage each and every time he took the stage. And despite the fact that he is leaving the program, he is not going to step back from the spotlight on the show. Instead, he is providing the top 3 candidates, who are now on the verge of making history on American Idol, with his wisdom, prayers, and passion over the competition. Following his dismissal from the competition, Thunderstorm gave an interview that was both genuine and emotionally rich. In it, he discussed the bittersweet element of watching from the sidelines, the spiritual connection he still feels with the journey of American Idol, and the specific individuals he is praying for as the final episode draws near. "I didn't lose, I'm just getting started." Thunderstorm smiled with the kind of tranquility that can only be carried by someone who is genuinely rooted in their goal when he was asked how he felt about abandoning the competition. "Idol provided me with a platform, but it did not limit me," he remarked. "The elimination of a candidate is not the end. It's nothing more than diversion. My narrative is still developing, and I have faith in the divine timing of events." Upon leaving, I found that I had more supporters, more faith, and more fuel than I could have ever dreamed. With a level of clarity that was unexpected, he described the moment when his name was not called. At that very instant, everything came to a complete and utter halt. It is not silence, rather, it is simply still. Upon hearing my name, I thought to myself, "All right. What should we do now, God?" And I just heard a whisper in my spirit say, "Make sure you keep an eye out for what comes next." The final 3, according to his opinions. The remaining 3 finalists, Jamal Roberts, Brianna Nix, and John Foster, each represent a completely different artistic direction in their respective fields. Despite the fact that Thunderstorm has nothing but admiration for each and every one of them, his critique of their journeys is replete with insights that can only be provided by a fellow competitor. Since Hollywood Week, audiences have shown a strong preference for Memphis-born soul crooner Jamal Roberts, who has become a household name. As a result of his rendition of Marvin Gaye's "What's Going On?", the judges stood up, shed tears, and tweeted in all capital letters. According to Thunderstorm, Jamal possesses a lot of fire. However, more than that, he has a purpose in himself. When he sings, it seems as though he is curing not only the entire room but also himself. Every time he takes the microphone, I see signs of both anguish and triumph in his eyes. Each and every week, Brianna Nix, a country gospel singer who is a powerhouse and has a passion for worship, brought the house down with her performances. Over the course of the season, her rendition of "How Great Thou Art" became the performance that received the most shares on TikTok. Thunderstorm acknowledged her with a nod and added, "She is a force of faith. Every time she sings, I get a tiny bit of heaven within me." Not only is she attempting to triumph, but she is also attempting to observe. Then there is John Foster, the underdog of the independent pop-rock scene, who won over the hearts of Americans with his unfiltered sensitivity and quirky honesty. In a statement, Thunderstorm referred to John Foster as the personification of the unexpected. He is not a typical person, and that is the gift he possesses. The words of his songs are like journal entries that are performed aloud. He doesn't only give a performance, he also admits, "I'm praying for a specific individual right now." Thunderstorm acknowledges that there is one contender to whom he feels an especially strong connection, and for whom he is actively praying, despite the fact that he is diplomatic and generous with his praise. The gentle revelation that he made was, "I've been praying for Brianna. She brings to mind many aspects of my own experience, such as attempting to maintain a balance between music and ministry, and remaining humble in the face of the world's desire to make you a brand. The entire world has to be aware of the brightness that this young lady possesses. On the other hand, if you are not rooted, celebrity might put out your fire. As a result, I pray for her with them exchanging verses, praying together before performances, and even leading a small backstage worship circle during Top 10 week." We didn't make a big deal out of it. In the middle of all this strain, we simply acknowledged that we required God's assistance, Thunderstorm revealed. The phrase, "We're not here to be idols, we're here to point to the one who deserves the worship," was something that Brianna would always remind me of. That is something that has stayed with me. There is a message for the finalists. Thunderstorm had a message of sincere appreciation for the finalists, despite the fact that they were no longer in the running. In his words, "Do not allow this moment to define you, rather allow it to reveal you. Your soul needs to shine brighter than the stage, but the stage itself is bright. People will remember how you made them feel, regardless of whether or not you take first place. Employ your voice as if it were a holy object. Why is it the case?" Additionally, he cautioned against allowing the stress of the conclusion to overshadow the joy that was present. The summit of the mountain is here. Move your body on it, stay on your toes. What is more essential is that the next version of you is waiting for you, even while the world is watching. Give it your entire attention. Where does Thunderstorm find itself next? After the conclusion of American Idol, Thunderstorm Artis has already begun to formulate his future goals. His experience on American Idol has had a significant impact on the forthcoming extended play, EP, that he has hinted will be released later this summer. He stated, "The songs I'm writing now are more raw, more real," and he was right. Unfinished Hallelujah is the name of one of the songs that I actually began writing on the night that I was eliminated from the competition. The trick is to find praise in the midst of suffering. He is also scheduled to perform at a number of music events during the summer, and he has been in discussions with worship collectives and faith-based record labels regarding the possibility of working together. The statement that he made was, "I want to do something that combines soul, folk, and spirit. Something that lifts people above themselves, even if they are unaware that they require lifting. In that direction, I intend to go. There is still a rumbling thunder." The influence of Thunderstorm is still being felt across the competition, despite the fact that his adventure on American Idol came to an end before the final ceremony. Thunderstorm Artis is more than a participant, he is a messenger. This is something that can be said with absolute certainty as the top three begin to prepare for the final vote. In some way, whether it was through his music, his prayers, or his quiet leadership behind the scenes, he gave something holy to the season. And despite the fact that he won't be holding the trophy, he already has something far more important in his possession: his calling. There are times when God takes you out of the spotlight so that he can bring you into alignment, Thunderstorm remarked, his eyes glistening with the tranquility that comes from faith. "There is no way that I will leave, just going a little bit further."